There are many, but if I would pick one, which is the main one, I would say the mind shift of mindset. I believe this is the hardest one because putting into the brains and in the way of living of everybody that due to daily habits, daily thinking, they can help in changing the world. This is a process which always takes a lot of time, and it goes to a lot of private things. For example, I just read this an analysis of the French population that each French person has about 1,500 CO2 that he actually spends into the atmosphere a year. 1/10 of that is IT, individual IT. And when you go then to the comparisons, a little small iPad, I mean, is like I wrote it 70 kilos to make it, and you see this consumption, the trend of consumption taking place. So each time people say, I need a new mobile phone, I need something new, I need a new e-reader, I need a new laptop. A laptop is 317 kilos of CO2. So if you can extend the lifespan of these, if you can decide not to change it, and it goes also into companies. I'm challenging internally in our company, our IT department says, hey, you're due to a new laptop. I said, but it still works. Why should I need a new laptop? This is all helps into the change of mentality. Of course, if the policy of the old laptop is in a kind of circular economy to give this to people in need in Portugal who cannot afford the laptop or children to go to school, I'm all in favor to change them and to give them. But if it's just to change for change, because there's some new thing into the computer, that should stop. That should stop. So it's a huge mental shift that has to take place in all minds. A second one is the gaps. The gaps that are increasing. The technology gap, the poor-rich gap. And this is something that's going to be a huge challenge coming on, because everybody who is not with technology is excluded, completely excluded. And this interlinked with the segment, the fastest segment in the world is the segment of the poor. So that's also why, for example, in GEOS, we're so looking into inclusion, because that's a segment that grows very rapidly, but it's linked also with the technology gap. So you're actually excluding twice populations from society. Firstly, on a financial basis. Secondly, because everything is technology now. Everything. Maybe I can even do it with an anecdote. I mean, I was at the Wonderland, which took place 3-4 weeks ago. I wanted to ask a veggie burger, and the guy said to me, if you want to order a veggie burger, I was talking to him, person to person. He said, you have to use your mobile and go to QRT code and order it via your mobile phone. I said, what? But I'm talking to you. He said, no, I cannot. You have to use your... So I cannot order a food without going through my mobile. This is ridiculous in certain ways. And so you're all the people who do not have these kind of technology, you actually exclude them from a lot. Of course, it's a vast domain. Firstly, we have put in place, and that's very important for a company, we have put in place a very detailed, professional, structured strategy for sustainability. And that goes in all directions. It's not just greenwashing and putting some things on but it goes into your processes, it goes into your products, it goes into your HR policies, it goes, for example, into your benefits you're giving to your employees, it goes into your building itself. We have now built 2 new buildings, one in Parque das Nações and in Porto, which have the highest sustainability certificate you can have in Portugal. So it's all about investments. We invest about 17 billion euro in the Portuguese market. So we have already 3 sustainable funds into our pension funds, and will go more and more. So it follows the strategy that in all areas, it's not just one area, but in all areas, also product-wise, in insurance products, in aging, in healthcare, in non-life, Internet of Things, in life, where we're going to extension of lifespans as well. So you have to be very careful and looking at all the processes in all the areas, be it from fleet, from bicycles, from all the kinds, is following this kind of attitude in your company. Well, it's a question I can answer with 0, with 5, or with 10. If it's a world problem, it strikes me that I still see people, be it in Portugal, in Belgium, in Europe, who still believe that nothing goes on. It's just normal. We're going to continue with the economy as we're doing. Half of the world was flooding a couple of months ago. The other half was burning. And still people do not believe something is wrong until, ask it to the people in Germany and Belgium who have been hit by the floodings, they suddenly realize in the mirror that there is no time left anymore. But it is hard that people first have to walk against the wall to realize that it's not 5 to 12, but it's nearly 12 o'clock or 5 past 12. So if we would be the only ones doing it, I put it 0. 0. There's not one island, one beach without plastic. Every fish that is being eaten in Portugal is full of microplastics. It is terrible what's going on, and people do not realize it. And so if we would be at the GLs the only ones reacting, it's 0. 0. We'll never make it. If one country only does it, it's 0. We'll never make it. That's why I'm saying it's very important. These kind of interviews and these kind of are very important to the awareness, because first you need awareness, and out of awareness comes action. And there's a big missing link between I can be aware and I'm doing something. And the awareness still has to increase today, but the action is more needed. And so for me, it depends how we will be able to change, all of us. And I invite all the CEOs of the companies to follow that kind of thinking pattern, that it is really time that with our companies, we save somewhat the world, because my generation messed it up. I still have some time to make it correct. We messed it up, but we must show to all the generations following us they cannot continue the same way. That's the awareness and then the action.